guys, I am Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Classics, God Skeletor. And oh man, let me tell you, this is a figure that I have wanted ever since I was a little kid, and I can't believe that we have finally got this figure in the Classics lineup. It's a figure that I didn't think would happen ever, just like a lot of the figures in this most recent wave of the William Stout collection, and here it is all of these years later. And it's also pretty crazy because this right here, this review that I'm doing at this moment, could very well be the last of my Masters of the Universe Classics figure reviews, as these last 4 figures, as of right now, mark the very end of this lineup of figures that come in this green brick Grayskull packaging that started all the way back in 2008. And it is pretty amazing that we have come so far. So it's that standard packaging, the same box we've seen all these years now. Does have that Masters of the Universe Classics logo at the top, which slightly covers the top of his head. We've seen that on some figures in the past. Not so bad when you're looking at it head on. As we rotate it around to the side, we've got the Super 7 logo there. And then on the back, we've got some absolutely beautiful new artwork of Skeletor with the power of Grayskull with his golden armor there. Such a cool figure. Oh my gosh, such a great iconic moment from the 87 movie. We've got our cross-sell showing the rest of the figures from the William Stout collection, as well as the 4 Final Club Grayskull figures that we should also be getting very soon. And we even have a brand new bio for our Golden God Skeletor. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty exciting. I am ready to dive into this long time wanted figure. Like, child me is so geeked out that I've got this figure. So let's go ahead and dive right in and let this be our final battle. Kneel before your master. You are no longer my equal. I am more than a man, more than life. I am a god. Oh my god. Like, seriously, it's crazy how these brand new action figures are filling me with such nostalgia. But it's amazing how they're just bringing back all these memories of me watching this movie over and over and over and over again as a kid. And this Golden God Skeletor figure has been something that I have wanted since I was a kid. I always wanted this in my vintage collection as a kid when I was reenacting scenes from the movie. When Classics started, this is one of the figures I've been banging the drum for years, even though we were told countless times that we would never see this guy. And yet, here he is. He is finally here in my collection. I'll try to stop gushing, but no promises, guys. I am elated. I am legitimately excited to own these figures, and you're not going to stop me from feeling that way. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at our Golden God Skeletor here, or just God Skeletor as the package calls him. So he's got this massive helmet here with these horns on top. The figure itself is right at 7 inches, but those horns extend all the way up to a full 8 inches tall. So he is going to be a bit taller than everybody else. Well, those horns on his head make him a bit taller than everybody else. And you can see that the gold paint that they use on this guy is really amazing because it's got just this beautiful shine to it. And what I really like is it definitely seems like we've got a couple different shades of gold going on here too, because like the cape and the little ribbons hanging down, and like you can see like the arms and what you can see of his stomach and everything is a bit of a darker gold than what we see on his armor and his gloves and his belt and the helmet, because it's a much brighter gold. So that two-tone there, which is all nice and shiny, just looks amazing. Like, that paint deco looks really, really good. So the costume itself, most of this figure, almost everything about this figure, save for the head, is exactly the same as our other Skeletor action figures. So why don't I go ahead and just start with this here. Let's do a comparison time between these two figures, because I want to put them side by side, because I want you guys to see. that the bodies here are the same. But it's amazing what two different paint decos can do because it makes them look completely different. But you can see he's wearing the same skirt piece, he's wearing the same belt piece, the same ribbons. One of the only major differences is he now has these tassels hanging from the belt, which is very cool because that's very familiar to like your original toy Skeletor, right? So those are lacking from the Dark Despot Skeletor. But everything else about this, including the cape, all appears to be exactly the same, save for that head sculpt with the new armor. So those are the only real differences there, the addition to the belt and the head sculpt. Everything else looks to be exactly the same. Now that does appear to be accurate to the film. If you pull up pictures of Skeletor in the golden armor there, the costume looks great. It looks just like what we've got here on the action figure. So I'm totally cool with them reusing the parts, especially if that's accurate to the movie. And like I said, it looks really, really good. So let's talk about that head, because that sculpted head is amazing. So the helmet is not removable, but they did a really, really good job of making it look like it's sitting on the Skeletor's head. Like it doesn't look like one whole solid piece there. And you can see like his mouth and even the eyes and everything painted underneath that are awesome. Like they look just like the painted details on the other Skeletor figure that we've already got there. Looks absolutely fantastic underneath that helmet. And the details on this helmet are so wicked. I mean, look at these horns and all the little intricate details on there. Just amazing. These crazy bat-like wings on the back, which I don't think I even ever really noticed the details on here before. Just so very cool. The red dot on there is unfortunately a little sloppy, and I don't know if that's coming across, but it's definitely not a clean paint job, so I wish that was a little bit more clean, but I think that is the only thing I can really complain about paint-wise on this figure, because I think he just looks really, really tremendous. So, articulation. How does the articulation function on this guy? So the shoulders are going to function just like we saw on the regular Skeletor there. The sculpted armor bits that are on his shoulders are going to hinder it just a little bit, so the arms can only come out about that far, but they can move forwards and backwards. You got swivels of the bicep, which again, still slightly hindered by the shoulder pad. Looks like I got a bit of a paint rub on the bicep there too. I don't know if that's coming across. Little bit of a paint rub there, so hopefully this gold paint doesn't rub off too bad. We got a standard single joint at the elbow. We got swivels at the wrist. We've got the hinge joints at the wrist. You got your ab crunch there, which is actually really tight under this armor. And then swivel at the waist. You got the ball-like hinges there at the thighs, which you can see under the skirt piece that he's wearing. So the legs still function pretty good, even though he's wearing this. It's nice and pliable there. You can also swivel there at the thigh. You got a single joint at the knee. Nothing in the boots there, but you do have the ankles, which can move forwards and backwards, as well as rock side to side. So his articulation is pretty much what you'd expect. It's exactly like the other Skeletor there. The head on this does not appear to be removable. Like I don't know. It definitely moves a little bit more than like the hooded Skeletor head on the other figure, but it doesn't look like they intended this to be removable because it's not coming off. And the cape is loose and sitting on his shoulders there, but all the other armor bits, of course, are glued in place. They are not meant to be removable. So, really great looking figure though. I love the way he stands out. I mean, look at the way he's like glowing under the lights. I think that's fantastic. So, of course, he does come with his Havoc Staff. And again, it's exactly the same as the Havoc Staff that came with the other Skeletor. But this one is painted all in that nice shiny gold. Let's get it placed in his hand there. Also, I love it too because with the hinges on the wrist, you can really get a great pose of him holding on to that Havoc Staff. Really, really cool stuff. Now, this one does not come with the Cosmic Key. Only the other figure came with the Cosmic Key. But I want to talk about the Cosmic Key because one thing that I wish, and I should have brought this up on the other Skeletor too. I don't know why I didn't think about it. I wish, since we've got the little loop on here, that they put something on his belt so we could actually hang the key off of his side. Because I love it when you look at stills from the movie, even when he's in the God form, you've got like the little cosmic key like hanging off of his hip there. It'd have been really cool to be able to pose him with the key hanging off of his side like that. So that's one thing that I do think that they missed. I think that would have been really cool to have that on there. But aside from that, I'm pretty thrilled with this guy. I mean, all the things I'm pointing out, I think they're worth pointing out. Absolutely. But I can totally see how they might be a little nitpicky too. Just things that I'm throwing out there are things that I would have loved to see. All in all, I am so happy with this guy. I'm really, really glad he exists. It's just such a fun figure, and it's just one of those really iconic moments. And I know that this movie isn't like everybody's ideal He-Man movie. It's been the butt of so many jokes for so long, but I'll tell you guys, as a kid, I just loved it. I loved watching it, and this scene right here was so iconic for me, and Frank Langella gave his all to this character, and I'm just so glad that we've got this finally represented on the shelf, and a toy line that is all about representing all the different eras of He-Man and She-Ra, right? We've got so many things in this line, ranging from the mini comic stuff to the vintage toy line to Filmation to New Adventures. So it is about time that we've got these proper figures from the 87 movie of characters like Skeletor and He-Man. So I am thrilled with it, and I don't know, I hope you guys are as excited about it as I am, because I know that I'm gushing about it, but man, this right here is a fun toy. This is what toy collecting is all about, because this just has me so excited, and that's the way it should be. And with that could very well be my final review of a Masters of the Universe Classics action figure. Now, we don't know that for sure. The official word is that the Classics line is on hiatus, while Mattel focuses on launching their brand new Origins toy line. So there's going to be no lack of He-Man. And we do still have some things to look forward to. We still have the last 4 Club Grayskull Filmation figures, and we have Snake Mountain, which is going to be a perfect cherry on top of this amazing toy line that has been around for 12 years. And when I look back at the entirety of the Classics line, sure, there were some bumps along the way. There were some missteps. But the line as a whole is just incredible, is it not? This is one of the most complete modern toy lines in existence. The amount of characters they were able to cover with this line, the releases that we got, are unreal. It's unheard of. This sort of thing does not happen very often. We got so many characters that, personally, I don't feel like we would have ever got toys of if this line was at retail all those years ago, instead of being handled as sort of a special thing curated specifically for collectors. And it's us, the fans, the collectors, that have kept this line alive well beyond Mattel ever expected it to go. And I think that is pretty amazing. So while I'm sad that we couldn't be getting more figures, there's so many characters I know people still want. I want more of these movie figures now. But I'm still very excited for what's to come. I'm still going to be talking about any of the new He-Man toys that comes out, because it's something I enjoy and that I'm very passionate about. And I'm really happy with the incredibly cool collection, not just because it's an amazing toy line that has given us so many fun action figures, but also the memories, because there is no single toy line that I have ever collected that has just given me so much joy than Masters of the Universe Classics. Because of this toy line, because I one day decided to turn on my mini DV camcorder in the bedroom of the apartment I shared with a friend of mine and talk about a King Grayskull action figure because I was excited about it. Because I made that decision and kept going with it, I got some amazing opportunities. I basically was able to develop this channel that I'm still here on 12 years later. I met so many friends along the way, friends that I still have to this day that I'm so thankful for. I had so many amazing experiences at the panels at San Diego Comic-Con, at PowerCon. I've interacted with so many of you, so many amazing people who share these passions with me, who get what I'm doing here with this channel and just trying to have fun and talk about the things that I enjoy and the toy collecting hobby, and I will forever be grateful for that. And this toy line right here will always be connected to those feelings right there. So I hope that you all feel the same, that those of you who have been here for this entire ride know just how special and how important this whole thing was. But more than that, let's have some fun. Let's look forward to all the cool stuff happening with He-Man this year and the years to come. And as you guys know, we never say goodbye. We say good journey.